Okay, good morning guys from Prague. So I'd start off with a little room tour. I got in late yesterday. I woke up 3 AM in Bucharest time to get the first plane to Amsterdam. So as I'm talking, just give you a little look around the room. So yeah, it's a really nice little place. Nice little service department. So just had a great shower, excellent water pressure, which you gotta love when you're traveling. So water pressure is great. But yeah, it's one of those places, look, it's got a little bit of age on it, but it's really comfortable, it's really cozy. It's sort of right on the edge of the centre of the city. So there's a tram stop literally 20 metres down the road if you want to catch a tram and head out. But yeah, look, not bad. Nice little kitchen, sofa, sitting area. I had an okay sleep. Well, I won't say it was a great sleep, because those like two single beds pushed together with a gap in the middle, but you get over that. But yeah, a little balcony. It's sort of like an inner courtyard. So yeah, this is where we are. So yeah, I drove in there last night about 8 PM. Met the guy, and then down here there's a basement car park that you drive into to park your car. So yeah, that's good. So the car parking is undercover. Oh, that's outstanding. So the guy said last night, yeah, breakfast is included. But yeah, and he said they'll bring some fresh breads and things to your door. And there was already cereal, muesli, water in the fridge, and yogurt, which I had last night before I went to bed because I hadn't had anything for dinner and was too tired to get up. So, all right, well, that's the little room tour, guys. Plan for today. I'm going to have this now, head down to the car, and then I'm going to head about an hour and a half's drive north of the city to this abandoned nuclear base where they used to store nuclear missiles in the old Soviet times. So I'm going to go meet up with the guy there that runs the place, and he said he'll open it up for me to have a look around. Yeah, not the best day though, but anyway, catch up later. Okay guys, welcome back to Prague. The journey continues. So this is the rental I got, a Skoda Karoq. Never had one before. It's like a mid-sized SUV, but pretty nice, pretty comfortable. All the buttons and gauges and things that, you know, come with modern cars. But best of all, oh, look at that. Hot dog and a coffee. I love these service stations in Czechoslovakia, Poland, Lithuania. They all have these sort of hot dogs that they sell, which are bloody absolutely outstanding. Don't get them in a lot of other places. But so I just stopped at a little cafe. I normally do first thing in the morning, get a coffee, get something to eat, and then I'll jump on the road. So I'm heading down the highway about an hour and a half to this old Soviet Union disused missile base where they actually used to store nuclear warheads. So yeah, the guy that runs the place is closed at the moment, but he's agreed to meet me at 10 o'clock and open it up, which is in about an hour. So I've got to get moving. I might be a bit late, but yeah, he said he'd even pick me up in his SUV at the intersection because it was a bit of snow down there, but it's raining at the moment. Doesn't appear to be much snow around. Well, there's no snow around, in fact, at all. So, not much use with the sunroof today, because there ain't a lot of sun happening today. But, again, that's the beauty of going to new places, travelling, seeing new stuff. You know, you take you take it as it comes, because that's the way to experience a new place. You know, no use bitching and complaining. All right, catch up again down the road. Alright guys, I've just got this mounted on the dash right in front of me. So, it's a very, very rainy day here in Prague. So just heading out of the city now towards this Soviet nuclear base, ex-base. So yeah, one of those things again, whenever I get to a new place, I always, I don't overtake, I don't do anything irrational, I just sit in the right lane, take it nice and slow, I'm in no rush, and yeah, that way you don't miss things either, so you know. Because yeah, I don't know where I'm going when I get to a new place, like anybody, you know, you just follow your GPS and listen to what it tells you to do. What do we got over here? Some kind of mini complex, a KFC, a Hornbach, which is like a trade shop, sells all trade goods, you know, timber, lumber, electrical things for construction. So, thoughts on driving so far in the Czech Republic? Yeah, not that different to most places in Central Eastern Europe. Feels I always go on that feeling again, like how does it feel? How does the vibe feel on the road, I suppose, for want of a better way to describe it. Feels alright, feels relaxed. City was a little bit tense in the city. That's mainly because I came in at night, and again at night, raining, not knowing the place, so you're trying to really concentrate on your GPS. So yeah, that felt a little bit uncomfortable last night, purely because it was just dark as shit. Couldn't see, some of the roads were unlit. A lot of windy roads leading into the city from the airport. Yeah, but like I said, it's rainy, it's wet, so I'm just sticking to the speed limit, sit behind the slow cars, have a little bit of a look as we go, because that's what it's all about too, you know. It's a new place, it's not just driving from A to B, it's just looking, taking it in, looking at the new styles of buildings, see what's different. So yeah, so far feels alright, not too bad. Schlappy, wow, it's a pretty cool name for a town, Schlappy. So I got the in-car GPS going, and I got the Google Maps going, so follow the road for 41 k's. Alright, so we can't go really wrong now. Will do. Alright, it's telling me to follow the road for 40 k's now, so I'm figuring that's speed limit here is only 80, so I've got to get back in front of this car and drop down. Alright guys, well, That's a little bit of the first installment of driving in the Czech Republic. Okay guys, just picking up again. Just thought I'd record a bit more. Going through a small village somewhere in, this is south of the capital, heading towards down to the south of the Czech Republic. Don't know the name of this little village, but I just thought I'd film because it's the first sort of little village I've come to, or little town, after being sort of on just a straight and narrow highway. But yeah, I've got probably 20 minutes to go till get to this old missile base. So I don't know. I don't know what the speed camera situation things are like here, but yeah, it's nice driving through here, but I don't know any of the roads, and there's snow signs everywhere along all the roads here. So obviously when they have a proper winter, yeah, these roads will just be covered in snow. So you still got to be careful, because when there's no snow around in the right conditions, there'll almost certainly be ice. A bit lucky today it's raining, so there won't be too much ice around, but the roads will still be slippery in some places, because you know, trucks use them a lot. But yeah, so far not too bad. Something coming. What's this? Ambulance. So yeah, just thought I'd record a little bit here so you can see a little bit what a village looks like, in sort of getting out into the middle of the south of the Czech Republic. Speed limit sign there, so I think assume it would be 50 through here. Again, like I said, I don't know how tough they are on speed limits here in terms of radars. I've seen radar signs, but I haven't seen any yet. The one place that is still, for me anyway, in my experience driving in the places I've driven in Europe, was Latvia. The radar camera situation in Latvia was just out of control. Literally signs and then radars, and they were everywhere. Radar guns, radars on posts, police sitting with radars in cars. Yeah, so in Latvia, if it says the speed limit, you sit on the speed limit, and if you see a radar sign, you slow down, because there'll be one coming up. And Google Maps was spot on accurate in Latvia with the radars. Every time you saw a radar sign on the map, sure enough, bang, up it came. And they're all high-tech radars too. They're not really old sort of things. They're all the latest, you know, networked radars and things. So they just snap your picture, off it goes, and yeah. So this starts to get to look more like an area where, yeah, you would have a missile base somewhere tucked away again in the forests and out of the way that nobody knows about. And again, this one not many people knew about. This was I think they said one of 3 or 4 sites that the Soviet Union actually stored nuclear warheads, so to be closer to mainland Europe, or not mainland Europe, because we're all part of Europe, even the Soviet Union, but closer to the NATO countries, you know. So they actually stored not only the rockets here, I believe, but they actually had mass storage of nuclear warheads that they could easily distribute from this location. But super secret site, again, not many people knew about it. Even in this country, it was the same as the one I went to in Latvia. I'd be running about 20 minutes late. It's now 10:05. The guy said he'd be there at 10. I haven't had any follow-up emails, so maybe he didn't think I was coming, you know, but I normally commit to these things because they are a hobby of mine. I'm still going to drive to the site. They call it the Atom Museum, so it's like a sort of small museum's being built around the structure or the entrance to the actual storage bunkers on the site. And then somewhere not far from that there's a deserted airfield, or the airfield that actually supported the site, made specially for the site. I think they do drag racing and things there now. And then there's some old barracks and things like that as well. So I'll see what I can find around there, but first things first is to head to the storage facility. Yeah, so this is kind of nice out here. This is just for outback roads, a little bit of... I just love coming to these places in Eastern Europe and Central Europe, you know, especially the ex-Soviet bloc countries, because look, they all gained independence, and you know, everyone wants their independence and things. And yeah, I mean, it's great that they did, and you know, the Soviet Union's not the Soviet Union anymore, you know. The USSR is gone. But the thing that annoys me when I come through these areas is that the people in these places, now that they've got their independence and that, nobody talks about what Russia's doing. Nobody's sitting there glued to the TV, you know, wondering whether Russia's about to invade, you know, all this crap that you hear in the Western media about the crisis in Ukraine. You know, Soviet, you know, Russian troops lining the border. You know, there's no Russian troops within 200 kilometers of the border with Ukraine, but they make it sound like they're sitting there just over the border with binoculars, you know, and massing troops. So, you know, Russia is entitled to do what it wants to do on its own soil, you know. Really, it's its own sovereign territory. Two of the places where they've actually massed troops are actually classed as training grounds, you know. So what do you do on training grounds? You train your troops, you have troop movements, you have... So look, I'm really so tired of the hypocrisy in Western media, and you know, tired of the hypocrisy from NATO, tired of the hypocrisy from America. You know, seriously, you know, and a lot of it's people that they're armchair critics and they're armchair media. You know, I've been to these places. I live in Eastern Europe. You know, I live in an ex-communist country. I'm regularly in Ukraine. You know, I've been to Russia. I'm through Lithuania and Poland, and you know, everywhere. And nobody talks about what's going on with Russia. Most people are just trying to make ends meet.
At the roundabout, take the first exit.
Sorry, yeah, just interrupt for the GPS. But look, most people here are just trying to make ends meet like everywhere else, and same as the ordinary person in Russia, you know. Everyone here is European. We're all Europeans. And what I don't understand is why...
Please take the first exit, then follow 19 towards Multa.
Why we keep getting all this pressure, this external pressure.
Exit the roundabout.
From... I don't understand why Europe is dictated to by a country that's thousands of kilometers away, that keeps putting pressure on what happens here. You know, for me, the Russian situation with Ukraine, it's domestic politics. You know, it's been going on for, it's like India and Pakistan. You know, you don't see America jumping in and taking one side or the other and saying, oh, calm down India or calm down Pakistan. You know, they actively shoot at each other every week, and they've both got nuclear weapons. So that's one thing that annoys me. You know, two of the big nuclear powers in the world, India and Pakistan, literally have troops facing off against each other across the border, and they fire at each other regularly. They use artillery every week. There's skirmishes and things, you know, but nobody jumps in there. America's not in there, you know. But no, Ukraine and Russia, because Russia is this old, you know, the old arch enemy, Russia. We've got to keep this myth going that, you know, they're ready to jump and invade everybody. You know, it's good for business, it's good for the economy, keeps the American arms industry going, keeps business going, you know. And yeah, anyway, I really get annoyed with it, because I just drive through here. I enjoy, you know, this is beautiful country, and like I said, people here just don't give a shit about that. No one talks about it. The only people drumming it up are NATO, the US, and the Western media. It's really, really annoying. You know, all the Slavic people need to work together as Slavic brothers and sisters. You know, they're great cultures, great history. You know, Russia is not part of some other geography or something. Russia is part of Europe. It's European. It's, you know, it has Slavs in Russia. So I just wish more people would start working again with Russia, get rid of this mentality, actually turn against what the West and, you know, the US keep pushing, and just say, no, it's not right. You know, how about we try and work with Russia? They're willing to work. They've said it many times. Putin has said it many times. I'm willing to work with the West, but no, everything he says gets disregarded. You know, he can't even fart the wrong way and somebody jumps up and down about what they're doing. Yet it's fine for America to have troops and missiles and hardware postured all the way through Europe, including countries that border Russia, and now pushing to put similar things in Ukraine, which is causing all the crap in the first place. You know, and I think Russia and Putin are well within their right to say, hey, enough's enough. You know, we tried to put missiles in Cuba in the 60s, and look what America did. You jumped up and down, you cried and screamed like a spoiled little brat. You know, we got rid of them. We followed the arms treaty and the arms talks and disbanded a lot of the nukes and everything. But what has America done now? Well, you got troops and missiles and hardware all throughout Europe. So enough's enough. You know, we're time's come to flex our muscle a bit and say, hey, you know, stop putting stuff on our borders. Stop doing that and yet calling us the aggressor. That's the thing that really annoys me, guys, is when you hear, you know, you hear the West and you hear everyone say that Russia's the aggressor. Russia hasn't moved. Russia's sitting in its own backyard. You know, it's not the one, like I said, forward deploying troops and assets all over the world. So yeah, to me it's just mass hypocrisy, but unfortunately a lot of people swallow it, you know, in the media, and the media pumps it out, people swallow it. Yeah, so enough ranting about that, but all I'd like to say is I just wish someday, you know, a lot of the people that carry on about Russia and China, but especially Russia, look, go visit Russia one day. No one's going to bite you there, you know. Go to Moscow, have a look at, you know, a big awesome city, because it is a big awesome city. Go to St. Petersburg and have a look at another big beautiful city. You know, St. Petersburg is beautiful. You know, just the huge grand scale of the architecture, the way the streets are, you know, designed, and everything's symmetrical and clean, and, you know, and obviously on the water as well, a lot of nice museums and history and things. So yeah, go and have a look and talk to the people.